Anything the T's say gets on everybody's nerves. And then the T's don't even say anything bad. They should be in the back talking to himself.
Dave Chappelle, a name that has never been shy of controversy, is once again shaking things up. In his latest stand-up special, he takes direct aim at woke culture, unapologetically tearing into what he sees as the dangerous rise of political correctness. His words? Blunt, raw, and impossible to ignore. But the backlash is fierce. Hollywood, the very industry that once embraced him, is now furious. As Chappelle pushes the boundaries of comedy and free speech, the question remains, will his bold stance ignite a firestorm or spark a much-needed conversation?
And she said, because, David, you are not gay. I said, well, Renee, I'm not a nigger either.
Chappelle has a proud way of exposing the craziness of today's culture, particularly in the woke group. In one of his skits, he discusses how he cannot use certain slurs since he is not homosexual. Now, let it sink in. Depending on your identification, you can no longer use the same language in comedy. Chappelle humorously says, well, I'm not an N-word either. The audience erupted, but what is he actually getting at?
But you see, what I didn't realize at the time and what Kevin had to learn the hard way is we were breaking an unwritten and unspoken rule of show business. And if I say it, you'll know that I'm telling you the truth. The rule is that no matter what you do in your artistic expression, you are never, ever allowed to upset the alphabet people.
He is exposing the hypocrisy of modern civilization. We've reached a strange point where only certain groups may use specific phrases, and if you don't belong to that group, you're instantly the bad guy. Chappelle highlights the ridiculousness of this double standard. It's as if we're giving certain individuals a free pass while others are muzzled, and people are tired of walking on eggshells.
You know who I mean. Those people that took 20% of the alphabet for themselves. I'd say the letters, but I don't want to conjure their anger. It's too late now. I'm talking about them L's and them B's and them G's and the T's.
Then there's his famous alphabet people line. Chappelle does not mince words when he believes there is an unwritten rule in Hollywood. Do not offend the woke community. He says that they've taken over 20% of the alphabet and that he can't even mention the letters without conjuring their anger. Isn't he right? Criticizing any aspect of the woke agenda is considered heresy.
People be surprised. I have friends, all kinds of letters. Everybody loves me and I love everybody. I got friends who are L's, I got friends who are B's, and I got friends who are G's. But the T's hate my fucking guts.
Chappelle lays up something that no one likes to admit. The woke community is not a cohesive, united bunch. The L's dislike the G's, the GGs make fun of the B's, and everyone has an issue with the T's. But guess what? When you bring it up, you're characterized as a bigot, homophobic, transphobic, or worse.
My guess is the G's are driving that car. That makes sense to me, because there's white men in the G's. And these people are trying to get around discrimination and oppression. And you know how white dudes are. We know these roads. In fact, we built these roads.
He is not hesitant to point out variations, and he does so in a way that is both amusing and brutally honest. His comments like G's driving the car and T's making the trip take longer brilliantly encapsulate the tension in the woke group. However, no one else appears eager to discuss it. Chappelle's skill is in utilizing humor to express what so many people are scared to say.
And sitting next to the B's, all the way in the back seat by themselves, looking out the window. That's the T's. Everybody in the car respects the T's, but everyone also resents the T's.
And let's speak about his work on the transgender community. This is where things really heat up. Chappelle joked on how difficult it is to cope with the T's. He confesses he's puzzled by the thought of someone being born in the incorrect body, but rather than being cruel, he emphasizes how humorously weird it all is. Can you imagine believing you were born in the wrong body? The man even claims that if he woke up in an Asian body, we would all laugh, which he is correct about. That's what comedy is all about, exposing the ludicrous. But oh boy, did it cause some difficulty.
It's not the T's fault, but everyone in the car just feels like the T's are making the trip take longer. Anything the T's say gets on everybody's nerves. And then the T's don't even say anything bad. They just be in the back talking to themselves. I'm hot. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, okay?
The transgender community came after Chappelle hard. Activists and Netflix employees urged his cancellation, but Chappelle refused to budge. He remained firm and acknowledged what many comedians are afraid to say: you can't control what people find amusing. The audience adored it, but what about the awakened mob? Not very much.
So the G's are just driving the car. Of course, next to the G's in the passenger seat is the L's. Everybody likes the L's, except for the G's. I don't know what that's about. I just know the G's don't like them that much.
He did not mince words. Chappelle responded, "It's not about the woke community, it's about corporate interests and what I can and cannot say." Exactly. This is no longer about inclusion or equality. It's all about control. Who decides what's off limits in comedy? And why is it that if the woke community gets engaged, people want to avoid offending them? Whether you agree or disagree, it's impossible to deny the impact he's having on the conversation around free speech and woke culture. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more thought-provoking content, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. The conversation is far from over.